What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I've got you covered. I can see online there's a lot of hatred for these seasonal modifiers, and obviously during your journey time there is an amount of time where you've got to deal with them. Yes, you can turn them off, but if you want to finish the journey and you want to get the carmine mask, which is, I would have thought, these would have been in alphabetical order. But I guess not, so we'll scroll down until we see it. There it is. You want to get this mask because you want to add it to your collection. You're going to have to use the modifiers. So I put together a build which it's not going to outshine in DPS. It's not going to not outshine in DPS. It's going to hit like a mil plus depending on modifiers that you've got active at the time. And it's going to get you through it. You're not going to get shocked to death. You're not going to get put on fire to death. And it'll just do the work, right? So first of all, let's have a look at the modifiers. So we're going to use all out. So when activated, you have 10 seconds to eliminate an enemy within any range zone. The zone that the enemy was killed in will now count for the full range spectrum, but this effect will slowly decrease. For each 5% it decreases, you receive 5% weapon damage. Eliminating additional enemies restores 2.5% of the effects. Cooldown 50 seconds. So we're going to use this one, and we're going to get a kill at long range when we want to use it, and then just run in and mow as many things down as we possibly can. You may have got a sneak peek of the build earlier on, but here it is. And this thing is loaded with damage, loaded with survivability, and loaded with hazard protection. Man, I sound like a salesman. So if we have a quick look at the hazard protection, I'm going to flip down here. You can see I've got 90% hazard pro. Now that is not the cap. The cap is around 92 to 93%, like 92.6 or something like that. So it does mean you'll get buzzed by an electric bullet or a fire bullet for like -1 second or something crazy like that, like 0.3, 0.4 of a second. It's literally, oh, I've got on fire. Oh, no, I'm not on fire. Like as quick as you can say it, it's all good. And then stat-wise as well, looks a little bit odd, but the crit chance is only 26%, but this is a seasonal build. So seasonal modifiers are dependent. Critical hit damage is 115% and headshot damage is 85%. And to break that down, that obviously means we are going to use Retribution. Retribution is going to give us all the crit chance that we need. Yes, it is, a stacking mechanism. So we're not always going to be at crit chance cap. But for heroic, direct modifiers on play, this is going to do the business. It's going to give us enough critical hit chance to cover what we need. Secondary, we're going to use persistence, and there's no real reason why I'm using this. The accuracy buff with the gun I'm using is welcomed at medium range, and the movement speed buff that we get as well is welcomed at short range. So yeah, just 3 absolutely very welcomed buffs there. And then we're going to use by the teeth, because this thing is just great with everything. So when we activate all out, we're going to get a kill at long range, and then we're just going to run in and we're going to body shot everything for as long as we can. And by the teeth is just going to give us some crazy good damage. And that's how we're going to play this build anyway. If we don't, if you can't be bothered activating all out, really doesn't matter. Just stick in the medium range and kill, and you'll be happy. All good in the hood. So there's no stacking really required. The only thing that is required is collecting the tokens from the memento. The reason I went with the memento is because it gives us all 3 core attributes, again for a little bit of extra survival, but it also gives you a nice set of weapon damage as well and things like that. A couple of skill tiers for your shield. Maybe you don't use a shield, maybe you use a banshee pulse. I mean, you can do if you want, probably wouldn't advise it. Or maybe use an assault drone for a decoy type effect, and that'll also do some damage because you've got 2 tiers of 2 yellow tiers as well, so which is really good. Crit hit damage in the mod slot. Then we're going to use the Kingbreaker because it supports the linked laser pointer, and with the linked laser pointer we get perfect flatline that amps damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Now it's not the best in slot AR at the moment, but it still hits really hard, and it still does a really good job. And the reason that we're using that is because it does synchronize up with our closer chest piece. The close chest piece has perfect spot on, giving us 20% amplified damage to pulsed enemies. So because we've got the linked laser pointer on, anything we aim at will always be pulsed, meaning we don't have to do anything special to get this damage. You can see mine's rolled all red, but feel free to run the blue core in it. Crit chance, crit damage, again with perfect spotter. But then you can see the reason why we're running this here. We get 5% total armor, which is just kind of nice. 10% armor on kill, which is great. And then 30% hazard protection. Kind of nice to have this armor on kill because we're not running gunner, so we miss out on 10% armor on kill from that also. But the 30% has pro is just, this is kind of the best in slot, I would say, to get yourself some Hasbro, but then not get too useless stats as well. You know, the armor, not great, but the armor on kill, especially if you stack it up with some other things, it's actually pretty decent. Covering the other Uzina pieces, they can be anywhere essentially, apart from the backpack, chest, or mask. Any other three can be, you know, Uzina or Jarl, basically. You can switch these around however you like, depending on what gear pieces you've got. But then I'm going to use a holster with weapon damage, Hasbro, crit damage. And then some knees with weapon damage, crit chance, and Hasbro. Works kind of nice. Then I'm going to use the Hollow Man. The reason I'm going to use the Hollow Man is I didn't want to restrict running invaded missions either. And the Hollow Man absolutely slaps when we're using an AR because it's got 14% health damage, meaning mini tanks, dogs, and things like that. You just absolutely wipe them out without even thinking about it. Again, adding to your survivability. Hasbro and crit damage on the bottom. And you can see here we get a nice buff from Jarl as well. We get 10% Hasbro up the top and 10% extra weapon damage as well. And then that I played that hand in hand with some gloves, armor, Hasbro, and crit chance. And it all just kind of synchronizes together really, really nicely. Now, I've said all that, so what I should probably do now is show you how the build works. So we'll go to a Federal Emergency Bunker because there's a really easy part at the beginning where I can give you a really good example of how to use the, you know, the global modifiers if you want to use them.
We need to find out what happened to the team that went to try to repair.
Remember, you've got to get the kill within 10 seconds of activating it. So we can kind of just chill here. And we can kind of see there we are at long range with anything further away than, you know, this purple here. Now we're at long range for everything. We can just pile our way in. And you can already see there was like, what, 1.6 million, 2 million. I think we probably hit the head by accident there. Show yourself. But then look at the armor bar as well. It's wild. Guys, come out. I mean, that's great for a YouTube video. I wasn't expecting them just to all chill in there. But you can see there, I mean, look at that armor bar. That's absolutely wild. Survivability is just crazy, crazy good. We'll do another section because that was really quick and it couldn't have gone any better. And let's face it, it doesn't always go that good. When I was making a build video on Twitch last night, it didn't go so well. Be sure to hit me a follow on Twitch if you're still watching the video. Go and check me out live when we'll make some build videos. Scary. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of made this build to just really take away some frustrations I know people have been having. We're nowhere near, we've run out of time for, so now we'll just use the build, you know, as normal. We'll try and play in the short or medium range. But as you can see, it just chunks. It just chunks and chunks and chunks. Why are they all so obsessed with standing in the doorway? What is going on? I feel like my game's bugged a little bit. But even with the shield, like, I don't really feel like my shield's taking that much damage either. It is expertise a little bit, but... And obviously Retribution, you can see he's kind of capped out at the bottom. I wonder if we can get a long range kill in this section now just to finish off. We probably can't, right? Maybe there, that guy. Oh yeah. Oh, we're not going to get him, are we? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Is he going to peek? Oh, he is. Nice. I mean, at that point now, it's just carnage. 2.3 million, it's just carnage. Oh, these guys up here now are going to kill my timer. And make me do headshots. Imagine being upset that a game makes you do headshots. Show yourself, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it just absolutely slaps. There's nothing bad to say about it. Survivability is great. You never feel at risk. Yeah, alright, maybe not the fastest DPS in the game, but if you want to deal with the modifiers, don't have to worry about the snakes, don't have to worry about the stupid incoming hazard bullets or anything like that. This is an absolute win. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later, agents. Goodbye.